Woo! There we go. Jason Weigandt and Marshal Weltin here. This is your best post show ever, brought to you by Twisted Tea. And we're going to talk Unadilla and round 9 of Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship. It's the Parts Unlimited Unadilla National. First of all, Marsh, was Unadilla, okay, at my age, Unadilla was like the king track back when I was young, so this was like the mecca. For you cool young guys, where's Unadilla? Is it like epic for you, or is it just another track? Like the reputation.
I mean, I think it is like one of the staples,
okay,
but
okay.
I would classify it in that category. For me, that track's Redbud.
That's fair.
But yeah, it is like, it's one that's like, when you think in outdoor nationals, you got to think of Unadilla. Be cool if they brought back Broome too.
Yeah. Oh wow, you'll go double New York, Broome, Tioga.
Or if they, did a flip flop. All I hear how cool his Broome is.
Google it, kids. Broome, Tioga used to have a national about an hour and a half from here, and Unadilla also. Now, the weird thing about Unadilla is I think what you and every rider expected, super deep soil, kind of muddy, probably some rain, long ruts. We didn't get any of those things.
Yeah, I've raced it 3 times now in the past, and I was like, oh, I better get some rut practice in all week. I'm like psyching myself out. I'm like, man, show up. It's like the flattest track I've ever rode, so that was a bit of a letdown.
Yeah, and some guys, we talked to Aaron Plissiger, who we'll have on here in a little bit. He was not happy because he likes the ruts. But by the end of the day, it did have character. It did get rough.
It was nasty. I mean, it was not an easy racetrack by any means. Not just wasn't enjoyable. Sometimes it's fun when it's rough, and it wasn't one of those days. No,
this looked tough. How did you do?
We had a bike issue, Moto 1, but we rebounded Moto 2. Team did awesome on it with plenty of time to spare. So came back, had outside gate pick, and came back to 15th. So I was in the mix,
Okay.
kind of where I was, expecting a little bit.
You're a real success story here, Marsh, and we're going to get to the 450 guys that from the press conference, but I think you might have some long-term at this team after you got picked up. You got some plans for the future?
I'm really working towards it. Yeah. I mean, that's the ultimate goal at the end of the year. Just keep plugging away, and I think if I can get a few more closer to that top 10, I think I got a shot at it.
Okay. This guy started in your own van at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I mean, just invested in myself, bought my own bikes, my own money, all my own engine packages, suspension, testing, all that, just all solo. So I made it through Supercross, and I was planning on doing the same thing for outdoors, but it's cool this opportunity came. So yeah, just missing Tommy T this weekend.
We'll get to that. Tom tested positive. Loretta's got him. Tom tested positive, I think, for COVID, or maybe the love bug. I hope we get Team Fried back here. Might have been the love bug. Marsh, that's a great success story. That's awesome. Cheers to you on that.
Thanks,
and Chase Sexton wins today. Eli Tomac second. Jason Anderson third. Let's get you to the 450 press conference.
Yeah, I've always liked this track. I've been here, I think it's my 5th time. So, and today was a lot different, honestly. I think every time I've came here, it's either rained before or it's been raining. So the track is really soft and more rutted than today. And in practice, I was really struggling with that, trying to adapt to it being drier and choppy. And so we had to make not a lot of bike changes, but a decent amount compared to what I have been. So it was good. I didn't change it from Moto 1 to Moto 2, which was nice. But yeah, today was awesome. I like the rutted conditions, and it's kind of what I grew up riding on, the more hard pack, longer ruts, and it paid off today. I felt really comfortable, even though the track could bite you really, really easily. And I had a few close calls, especially at first moto. So you really had to be on your game, and today was one of those days where I felt like I was kind of not cruising, but I felt like I was in control really good, and I was flowing really well.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it as the cup being half full, it was a decent day, looking back at the past couple of years here, and I put myself in a great position the first lap with good starts, even a whole shot of Moto 2, so that was sweet, and did what I could, made some small adjustments for Moto 2, and wasn't enough. Obviously Chase was on fire today, and I don't know, man. Yeah, me in this place had my number.
Yeah, for me, it's obviously it's kind of tough being third, because you kind of want to see improvements, but these guys are riding really good, and for me, it's one of my best outdoor seasons I've had so far, and I don't want to ride over my head or do anything crazy. I just kind of want consistent progress, and that's kind of what I'm looking at right now, because I'm pretty far out, and there's way too much ground to make up with how good these guys are riding and the way the field is. So I think if I can, get closer to them and try and make some good progress, just to help myself, develop my bike and get better for myself and try and be ready for next year, to try and keep the ball rolling, get some good momentum, and I think that's what my goal is right now.
Okay, so that's our 450 press conference. You probably watched the race and saw that Sexton did what nobody does, and that is run down, catch, pass, and leave Eli Tomac in both motos today. So it leads to this question: with 3 moto wins in a row and now getting the points lead back, is Chase Sexton, has he actually found another level and even Tomac can't match him, or is it just a Unadilla thing? Now, historically, this is Tomac's worst track. He's never won the overall here on a 450. He had not won a moto here since 2018, and I believe that was in a mud race. So we won't know until we get to Budds Creek, but there is at least a thought, a chance, an opportunity that Chase Sexton has found a gear that even Eli Tomac doesn't have. Now, you can add us in the comments and say that's impossible. That's why they run the races. We'll find out as soon as Budds Creek next weekend, but it's definitely a talking point to see if Tomac can get this momentum back. Hard to believe he had won 9 motos in a row at one point, and suddenly Sexton's back into the points lead. So that's the story in the 450 class. In the 250s, I don't even know where to go. Pretty much everyone crashed at some point. As Marsh said, the track was super difficult, and for the 250 riders, it caught them all out. Jet Lawrence, 3 crashes in 2 motos. His first legitimate bad race of the year. Didn't finish on the podium, and not because of a bike problem. Now, his brother Hunter should have won again, but he thought his engine was going away in Moto 2. It turned out that his brake was locked on, I presume because of a rock, so he had problems. And Jo Shimoda was just consistent enough with 1-3 scores to win again. And Justin Cooper might have went 1-1, but he crashed away the lead in Moto 1, came back to win Moto 2. He goes 5-1. Let's talk to our podium guys from the press conference.
I don't know too much about the history, but just at any track I go to, I just focus on doing my best, and ended up taking overall. It's always great. I do change small things, like for example at Washugo I really struggled to set up the bike coming into the corner and stuff, so I didn't really have a comfort, but yeah, we worked on it during the break, and then which made it a little better, and I think today kind of showed.
Yeah, I think the prep was just a little bit different. It seemed like it was more powdery and it just didn't run up as it normally does. So it had a faster pace today, and it was just, you had to use more intensity out there because it was pretty wide open for Unadilla. So it was a good day overall.
Yeah, same what the boys said. It was different. I don't remember last year if they went and ripped a bunch of the track before the motos, so that was a bit different. But yeah, pretty hard pack and slippery. It was different bumps, not the traditional into the ruts braking bumps. There was some gnarly square-edged acceleration bumps before the braking bumps developed. So it was definitely different, bit of a curveball to what everyone was expecting for Unadilla, I think. So.
Okay, so those are our press conferences. Let's get a little more analysis here. We got Ryan Dungey and Aaron Plessinger, Red Bull KTM. They were cool enough to come to the post-race media corral. Let's hear about their days, and wait till you see what Dunge looks like after being roosted all day today.
Today wasn't bad. Track was just really unique, pretty tough. I feel like our starts were pretty good. Track positioning, I was about 5th or 6th off the start, and I just struggled to make passes. I don't know why. I'd work really hard to get up on a guy and then couldn't make the pass. I eventually did make a few, but I feel like that really set the tone for the full race. And if I could have just kind of made some passes, kept working, I felt like our speed was better than where we finished. Yeah. But no discredit to anybody. It was a nasty track today.
All right, Unadilla was interesting. I've never seen the track this way ever in my life, and I've been here quite a few times. GNCC as well. Yeah. It was just weird, man. It kind of bummed me out at first. I was banking on some ruts. I didn't really get them, but overall happy with my riding. I went first moto, got a decent start, and then kind of pumped up in the middle there a little bit. A couple guys got by me. Finished on 7th, and then second moto I got a really good start, right there with Eli. I thought I was going to get him for a second, and then he kind of took off from me. Chase came flying by me. He's on another level. And then Jason, I tried to latch onto him. I learned a few lines from him, and then kind of dropped off a little bit there in the middle, and then about 5 laps to go, I turned it back up. And if I could have turned it back up maybe a lap or 2 earlier, I think I might have had something for Jason, but you know, I'm happy with the way the bike worked today. I'm happy with the way I'm riding. I was in a good mood all day. Didn't really make any big changes, so you weren't even at Washington. It was a successful day. I just finished right off the podium, and I'm happy.
Okay, that's it for our Twisted Tea best post show ever. Unadilla, you did okay. Remember, we shoot this thing. It's now 6:45 on my watch. So just come over to this truck at Budds Creek between 6:30 and 6:45 and be part of our show. And I believe Hartraft was hurt. He had an ankle injury, but that's like a local-ish race for a Jersey guy. So we'll try to get him back. Come hang out with us. See you at Budds Creek, everybody. It's been the best post show ever. Have a Twisted Tea.